Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't seen.
What's up? 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 Welcome back to another edition of the 1 a.m. podcast, man. I'm here with Shaw Milligan, as always, with Jelani and RB Mo. Fellas, how are y'all doing this week?
I'm good, bro. I gotta start. I don't want to say the same thing every time you ask that question. I feel like we got if somebody listened to every episode of the podcast, they would hear us start off.
No, bro. Did you watch It Is What It Is?
Do you talk about the Cameron and May show?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it recently.
So every morning, Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, she does the intro, right? And then she says, "We're here with Cam and Mace." And then Mace goes, "Killer was good." Every single morning. And Cam goes, "Oh, murder, I'm chilling." The same. It's like it's in a part of the script for the intro. But I mean, I don't think Mace cares because he don't be on the internet like that. So it's just whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, we got to come up with like an opening catchphrase or something like that. But Mo, what's good, bro?
What's good, man? I'm feeling blessed and highly favored, man.
No, I feel it. You just got home from work?
Yeah.
Dang, that boy doing double duty, ain't it?
Yeah, doing what I got to do, man. Trying to get a little money out of my pocket, you feel me?
I feel it.
Salute a hardworking black man.
You know what I'm saying? Look, B-Lou, so B-Lou and Zias was talking, right? That they were talking about streaming versus a regular job. And B-Lou said, nah, streaming and content isn't more difficult. He said, well, one thing he'll say is when they were coming up, B-Lou was going to work during the day. He said when he go to work, when he go to school, and then he would come over Zia's house after to record. He said them days he'd be tired and it would be tough for him to do that. He said those were the days where it was probably tough. But he said now it's nothing. But I don't know. I just always think about that when I think of doing stuff after work, which I do pretty much every single night now. But yeah. But I feel with more of a physical job like you guys work, it's a bit more different, because you're probably a little more tired than I am the most days.
Yeah, for the people listening who don't know, I'm a professional bounty hunter. Go and arrest people. I'm the feds. So this is very taxing, doing my job. No, I just work at a warehouse. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, we don't do this. I mean, you work in media full time, but I don't work in media full time. So it's not hard for me to come on here for an hour and a half, 2 hours and talk to people I'm cool with and have energy for that. But if I had to, if I had to come home from work after 10 hours of doing whatever I do at my job and then stream every day, to try to get that career off the ground, yeah, that would probably be pretty exhausting.
No, facts. I'll say for me, though, you're never tiring doing what you love, man, So, I'm married to the game.
Shoot. Hey, I watch sports for a living. I watch sports for a living. Shoot. Hey.
No, I mean, for me, it's not really that bad. I mean, my job don't really be that taxing for real either. I just I'm working at Planet Fitness at the moment, man. I haven't really talked much about, my last few months, but yeah, I had to do a little life reset. So you're working at Planet Fitness for right now, getting a little money in my pockets. And yeah, working there right now is nothing. I really just be chilling all day. I'll be on my phone, sitting there, helping people. But I'm down. It's a lot of white people that come to my gym. So people be sitting here coming in tanning all the time. Bruh, I'll be like, man, some of y'all need to go ahead and stop because y'all are gonna look so bad when y'all get older. And then I see the ones who already look bad and still be like, yeah, let me go ahead and get booth number 2. I'll be like, man, it's a couple people that got about the same skin tone as me for real. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Them folks they be addicted, bro. They be addicted. It's like coffee.
Yeah.
Yo, tanning yourself into becoming an entirely different race is so crazy. You know what I think about? Like, it's a totally different subject, but like when you see those pictures where it'll be like okay, like two mixed, like okay, let's say a white grandmother has, or a white woman has a baby with a black man, and the baby comes out mixed, and then the mixed child has a baby with a white woman or a white person, and then that baby comes out like the idea that in 2 or 3 generations, your child and the rest of your family can become an entirely different race is so.
Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, I didn't want to say no names or nothing like that, but shout out, you know what I mean? Oh, you saw Patrick Mahomes got the fade too in the offseason.
Oh, he got a
he cut his hair. He cut the mohawk.
So it looked like the old joint?
No, he's beginning his like when Russell Wilson like became blacker as he stayed longer into the league. He's beginning his arc right now. He's gonna have waves in a few years.
This a soft launch of the divorce?
Listen, I don't want to be, you know what I mean, Jelani Williams or, you know, Jelani with the T, but I can see it on the horizon, you know.
Jelani with the mess, just with the mess. What y'all think about that entire situation?
I thought it was, I thought it was crazy how she went on live to address all of it. I feel she had some valid points in there. But I just think, a lot of this could have been just, having a conversation, like within the workplace, maybe more of a conversation there probably would have been a little bit better. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know, maybe she did already have these conversations, but I really feel like she let the media, well, not social media in particular, really kind of get to her, to where she felt she needed to do the public statement and all this stuff. And I don't know. I didn't think it was, I felt like it was definitely tension there, but as I say, you should have brought this to them within like a workplace as opposed to addressing it online and then having this whole public thing on air. But at the same time, that would probably good for their ratings. So they probably didn't mind it. But I just think in a professional sense, she could have handled that a little bit differently. Lauren, of course, handled it like a professional the whole time. But yeah, other than that, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they got I don't really know. I apologize to the listeners because I know I'm sounding like I'm not really making a point right now. It's an interesting situation because it's like, I saw somebody make this joke on Twitter a long time ago. This is not an original joke, but they were saying, they were talking about the WNBA. They were saying that a WNBA player getting pregnant is the equivalent of an NBA player tearing their ACL. You know what I mean? Because like
terrible timing, by the way. Prayers up for.
Oh Juju. Yeah, shout out to Juju Watkins.
Prayers up for
yeah,
Juju.
that was a bad time. I saw somebody said, but it shouldn't be that way. Where a woman getting pregnant ends up not hindering her career, but like. All right, I'm gonna just say it like this: the Lauren girl is very talented. She's very talented.
For me, the craziest part of this for me was I was talking to Mo.
I knew you were gonna say it.
I was thinking, I was like, should I say it on the? I was like, I might as well, man. Hey, I was talking to Mo about the situation, and Mo was just like, "Hey, it's kind of random, but did you know that that's like our homeboy's sister?" And I said, "What?" Because mind you, I've been watching Breakfast Club like the entire time, like when they had the auditions for who was going to replace Angela Yee, and Lauren was there back then. you know, I know a couple of my homies been on the show before. Yak over there down. He used to be at iHeart. He's now that's TV. Morgan, she used to do the news. She used to read the news. She was at the Black Information Network at the time, and I know her from up there in DC. Shout out to Morgan. Who else? Of course, DJ Nyla Simone. That's still a homie, relatively. I met her just once in Atlanta after she was already on the show for a little while. So I already know them three, but that was it. Everybody else was kind of, you know, just like, you know, a little rotating and stuff like that. They were giving a lot of black talent a chance to fill that role. So I knew Lauren from there. I seen her from there. And then, you know, she became like the person after Jess left because Jess recommended her and things of that sort. And then, you know, so after a while, I get used to Lauren. So I know who Lauren LaRosa is because I'm watching The Breakfast Club on a regular basis. I had no idea, bro. I'm like, and it's crazy because going back to our homeboy pictures, I'm seeing her in these pictures that I've been looking at for years, and I had no clue. And like our homeboy, he be doing cool stuff. He be working on sets with production, with like these big productions and stuff like. And he been doing this for the past few years, and I just never correlated the dots 2 and 2 together that she's that close to us. 6 degrees of separation. So yeah, that was the craziest takeaway from me, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was randomly thinking about because, you know, I've known, like, I've met Lauren like some years ago. And known, of course, as I said, known that was his sister. But, you know, I first met her back when she was working with TMZ. And so, you know, when she got to this point, I was like, dang, especially like since everything was going viral, I just never thought about like, ever mention it to you. And I was thinking, I was like, this is a moment where I bet, because I never really even thought that you would even really know her until like this moment happened. I was like, I bet Rashad is tuned into all this. And I bet he has no clue that that's, you know, our homeboy sister. And so, yeah, so I just hit him up. I was like, yeah, you know that blah, blah, blah sister, right? And he was like, oh, dang. You know, but yeah. It's crazy, you know, it's funny when I was listening to an episode one time and she was talking about her brother and was talking about her brother and her mom, but she had said something about her brother, about how, like, I think she was talking to Drewski. It was a Drewski interview, and how he's like a Virgo or something like that. And it was like, yeah, like, you all about love. Like my brother and my mom are just like that. They just love, like, they all about love and relationships and stuff. And it was so funny because, and then I hit him up afterwards and I was like, yeah, I saw what Lauren said about you, and she wasn't lying. Cause yeah, that boy, he loved him a relationship, man. I'd be like, bro, you need to leave some of these women alone, bro. But yeah, man.
I'm sure but this is like still puzzle. Like, for those of y'all who don't know, like, I'm talking about this, my homeboy since 2014. I'm talking about, like, yes, we don't speak every day like how it used to be in 2014, but we still talk like probably at least once a year for an hour or two. Like, because he used to do the like I said, he was doing work in production at the Hip Hop Awards, BT Hip Hop Award. So every Hip Hop Awards, we come together, sit down, like, talk, like lunch or whatever before the award show, everything before the carpet. We talk for an hour. So I'm sure at some point he's mentioned, oh yeah, because, you know, my sister is at TMZ. My sister is also in media. My sister is also doing her thing. Probably even said like her brand, Brown Girl Grinding, and all of this. And I was just like, okay, bet, yeah. But I don't know. I think from my end, it's just like, I don't know if y'all can imagine, but I get this a lot where it's like, my sister, my cousin, my nephew, my so-and-so, he trying to get into journalism. He do journalism. He do this. And you're just like, oh, okay, all right, best of luck to them. Because that's what I get all the time. It's like, I'd imagine being like a big rapper. Everywhere you go, it's like, oh, my little cousin make beats. Oh, my brother rap. You know, I imagine you get that all the time.
My grandma just put out a mixtape.
Exactly.
Right.
So I don't know how I missed this though. This just seemed too big, right in the wheelhouse. Like I'm just like, it's crazy.
It's it really he'll mention something about her, but he don't really never say her name about nothing, you know? So it's kind of one of those things like if you know, you kind of know. It like, but if he doesn't, he won't really go in depth about like, oh, my sister is X, Y, and Z, you know? But I'll say it's funny for years. Anytime I meet when I be serving, I'll meet people from Delaware, especially women. And
Serving
I'll be
food,
I was just
serving
about to say,
food.
clarify what you mean when you say serving.
oh
Okay.
oh my bad. Yeah,
Hey, look.
Yo, listen.
Them West Coast podcasters getting the red. They getting taken up by the feds for what they saying
Yeah,
on podcasts.
we don't want the podcast, Rico.
Right. 1 a.m. Rico is crazy. But yeah, when I would be working at restaurants and talking to meeting like women from Delaware, and I'll say like, oh yeah, my homeboy from Delaware. And then they'll be like, oh really? Okay, yeah, like what's his name? And I'll say his name, they'll be like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, his sister is Lauren LaRosa. And then they'll be like, oh my God, Lauren? And this was like probably about like 4 or 5 years ago, the first time that happened. And I was like, it threw me off. But she really
But nah, Mo. Another point, because you was here on this call. We having Jelani, we having a group FaceTime, bro, where we just having a catch up, brothers. Woo, woo. He asked me, Rashad, how the media game going? I give him a whole spiel about what's going on in my career. He said, okay, bet. I said, how you doing with production? He tell me how it's going. Now, once did he mention, oh yeah, my sister on Breakfast Club now, y'all should link, y'all should do. I mean, you don't even have to say y'all should do something, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's kind of crazy not to even mention my sisters on Breakfast Club. We asking about each other's family. I think I even asked him. Yeah, I did ask him about the baby. I asked him about his kid, daughter, everything like that. And he tell me, but it's like you say, Mo, you literally, it's some black folks, black men in particular, where you got to ask them the specific question of exactly what you want to know to get the information out of them, bro.
Yeah, but as I said, like, yeah, he just ain't. He don't mention stuff like that a lot. Like he don't like talk about, because I think realistically though, for real, like him growing up, as I said, she was really big in Delaware, like because she was a party promoter before she got on with anything, and so that's why all them girls know her, and then like from there she just continued to grow, and so I think like he was kind of like he used to. From what I've heard growing up, he used to be able to bag a lot, getting a lot of doors back home through her name. And I think as he's gotten older, it's like, I don't really want to maneuver like that. But I know it's like with us, it's different. But yeah, bro. But but as I said, it's crazy. But shout out to Lauren, man. It's dope to see the growth, from afar. I ain't tapped in with her like that. As I said, I met her before, and of course, we got essentially family ties because that's like my brother, her brother. It was really crazy to me because I know their mom, and like her and our homeboy don't really look alike. But then I was like, now that I see Lauren so much on like TV and stuff, it's like every time I look at her, I see. I've sit there and talked with his mom a lot more, and I'll be like, bro, she look just like her mom, bro. It's just, I don't know, it just throws me off sometimes because, like I said, I've seen her mom so many times, and then Lauren, like, seeing like a couple, but then it's like really seeing her. I was like, every time I see her now, I'm like, dang, if people saw her mom, they would be like, yo, you are low key like a darker, like a brown skinned version of your mom, But yeah, I don't know, random tidbits.
If your sister went viral, will you be like, oh, y'all know that's my sister? Like, say your sister went viral for saying like she was the one. Don't Young J man, because the Young LA line is like the thing that's stuck in my head right now. I hate that's the way that Young LA got his flowers, but hey, we ball, whatever, more power to Young LA. But like, say that was your sister that really got that trend jumping. Would you be like, oh yeah, y'all know that's my sister, or would you just keep it to yourself?
So hypothetically speaking, if my sister, uh, let's say in the year 2008, she transitioned and became a man, and she cut her hair off and got a mohawk and started making futuristic rap songs, and then 15, 16 years later, went viral for that on TikTok, I absolutely would claim her. I don't know if like all jokes aside though, like Young LA, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like if Young LA was my brother, like for real. I don't know if y'all saw the video of, not to get off topic, but like if y'all saw the video of him, I think he was like robbing somebody's house or something like that, like taking TVs out the crib.
Well, you know him and Alley Boy cut
Yeah,
all ties with him again.
they got back cool, and then
And when I seen that, I say, okay, because he talking about like Young LA was stealing, and he said I can't be down with nobody that's stealing. It can't be down with nobody that won. And I'm like, dang, that seems kind of harsh. Or I was just like, oh, they fell out again. And then when I see the viral clip of Buddy on the interview, I said, oh man, my GOAT, my legend is on drugs. You know, that was my initial reaction. Go ahead, Jelani.
yes, these are wild times for living in. It would depend on what my sister like went viral for. You know what I mean? Some people just don't. I would also like some people don't want to. Some people feel kind of weird or like kind of lame, even if they have like famous relatives. Some people feel kind of lame, like piggybacking off of it or like trying to get clout off of it. Because at the end of the day, these are still just your family members. Like you grew up in the same house playing with these people. So it's like, I mean, now your sister getting on a Breakfast Club is a big deal. You know what I mean? That is something that, you know, probably will come up in conversation at some point, but everybody's different, you know. Also, not to get sidetracked, you brought up Delaware. I just want to say, like, there are certain states in America. We all know like Atlanta, Houston, Miami, like New York, LA. Like we know the cities that have like defined women and have the reputation for having defined women. But like there are certain states like Delaware, Rhode Island, like there are states that you wouldn't, Nebraska, that you wouldn't think of where there is like large populations of fine women.
Kansas.
Minneapolis, like the whole state of Minnesota, like that. That's a very interesting thing about America. I really think there's the only places where there probably aren't any fine women would be like Montana, Wyoming, places like that. At least black women, at least, because there are no black people out there.
I do think there's a difference though between being like, y'all know 21 Savage, my brother, right? Versus like, say you rapping, right? And you my homeboy. Say you Mo, right? Say you Mo. Mo been rapping for say 5 years. He's starting to get some, some motion now. Mo booking shows. Mo hit his last mixtape, had a little buzz around the city and stuff like that. He's starting to come up. I ain't seen Mo in a couple months. I see him, I say, yo, how's the rapping going and this and that. If my brother's 21 Savage, I'm probably gonna say, oh, my brother said this, whoop whoop, because he's in the same industry. I don't even have to say 21 Savage name. I could just say my brother's in the industry and he's kind of moving up in the rap ranks too and stuff like that. I didn't get that once from my home, but that's my problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we in the same industry, you could at least mention like my sister also has a job in said industry. You don't even have to be like, y'all know my sister on Breakfast Club. Like you don't even have to, you know what I'm saying? That was my problem with it. It's like, dang, bro, this how I gotta find out. But then again, like I said, we've talked so much over the years. He's probably told me in conversation, and I just like went past it. So that's on me as well.
Mo, was you about to? I thought you had I thought you were about to say something real quick.
I was gonna. Well, actually, so I'm gonna kind of switch the topic a little bit. Man, so us living towards the city, And I guess like some that we don't, and like I guess the topic I want to introduce is something that people from outside the city has talked about, like about being in the city that you see as normal everyday stuff. And like one example, I remember I met this girl that had moved out here from like North Dakota. And like back home, she was saying everybody felt like she made it because she was an extra at the Tyler Perry studios. And I don't know about y'all. I know at least 10 to 15 people who've been an extra at Tyler Perry, you know? And but it was just like, but you know, for her, you know, she was like back home, they were like, yeah, she like, you know, she made it low key. And I was just like, dang, if only you knew that like that really it can be a stepping stone, but it's really so it's like a lot of people get into that door, you know. But it's like being from the city, you know, for me, it's something that I really kind of overlooked, you know, like and as I said, for some people, you know, back in certain parts of the world, that is like everything, you know, because you ain't never seen nobody who been on anything before, you know. So I don't know.
Was she in an episode of House of Pain?
I don't know what she was on. I think it was. I can't remember what she told me she was on. It was something small. I mean, but it was, you know. But I say, you know, it was to me when she told me though. As I said, like her being like, yeah, like you know, I'm telling everybody blah blah blah. You know, they see me as like, you know, I'm inspiration to go live your dreams, and I was like, and that is, you know, that is inspiration. But it was just like stuff that being within the city that you know, you tell most city people, like, well, within Atlanta, especially, you tell most people that it's just kind of like, okay, you know, you was an extra in a Tyler Perry film, especially like if you're in some type of entertainment industry, you know, it's just everybody like if you wanted to pursue acting, a lot of people end up becoming extras at some point, and but then you realize being an extra doesn't really do as much for you as really going to auditions and doing stuff like that because anybody could be an extra, you know. Like literally, I could go sign up tomorrow and be on the top, be in the background of freaking what is that, Zatima?
Yeah, BET Plus.
Yeah, you know, like and that, but that's real though. Like, legit, I can sign up and be on one of those to like tomorrow if I really wanted to, you know. But yeah, or you know, another thing that I feel like I personally have taken for granted with living in a big city is concerts. You know, hearing people when I used to Uber, you'll meet people who are like, yeah, I drove all the way out here. It's like I drove 3-4 hours to stay in a hotel to come see, you know, such artists. And you know, and I be thinking to myself, like, would I drive 3 hours to go see these people? Because it's like for me, it's a 30-45 minute drive right now. And even then sometimes I'll be like, I don't really feel like going down to the city right now, you know? But it's like little stuff like that you take for granted, you know.
Bro, one of them things I miss most about the city, about Atlanta, is like shows. Exactly what you said. Because tonight in Atlanta, at the time we're recording this, Saw Baby has a show, Baby Kia has a show, and then Bossman D-Lo's at Tabernacle. And it's like for me, I thought moving down here, I'm moving down to another city with an NFL team and an NBA team. And like it's like a big tourist city. And there's big events that come down here, Essence Fest. Artists don't be stopping by here on tour, bro. I did not know that until I moved down here. It's a lot of artists that do not stop down here. I'm like, bro, like Tyler the Creator ain't stopping down here. Um, I'm going to the Layla show next month. She's not going to. I got to go back home to watch Layla. Like it's you be really surprised, bro, because this is a music city. Like they play the little trumpet and trombone, all that on Bourbon. This is a music city, so it's like Ed Sheeran just performed the show just walking down the street the other week. So it's like it's crazy, bro. That's definitely one of the things. I think another thing is like the man right here that I pulled up. Like they'll be, oh my gosh, I seen T.I. at the store, bruh. you see T.I. about once a week. If you in the city, you see T.I. about once a week, especially if you go to if you around the because the last place I worked, it was across the street from the Trap City Cafe in West Midtown. And then so then I moved to that area around West Midtown, Bankhead Highway, everything like that. And like so I will run into T.I. just like all the time, especially if I'm at Trap City Cafe. So it's like I don't know. That's something I feel like is something that we take for granted being from Atlanta that other people it's like, oh, and I think just in general, like Atlanta, like if you're in North Carolina, they're like, oh, he moving to Atlanta, oh, or like, I got to get my life right. Like, F this, I'm going to Atlanta. Everybody down in Atlanta, they get into the money. Da 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 da. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. It is like that though, because a lot of folks they be like, I'm from North Carolina, I'm from New York, I'm from da 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 da, and they all coming down there to get some money. So it is like that. It's almost like kind of like a new LA for real, for real. But go ahead, Jelani.
Moving to Atlanta to attempt to get your life together can either go extremely well for you or extremely bad. Like there's no in between. Like if you move to Atlanta because you have like a certain goal you want to accomplish, you're either going to succeed and beyond what you thought, or it's going to go horribly bad. But I think the thing about Atlanta that there's a couple things about this place I take for granted. One, I'll say like the idea of if you live in like the middle of nowhere, let's say you, and I feel like I said this a couple episodes ago, but I'll reiterate it. Like if you live in Iowa or something like that, like think about how far-fetched the idea of becoming famous if you live in Iowa, you know what I mean? Or if you live in somewhere, it didn't even got to be the middle of nowhere. It could be just even like you live in New Orleans. Like obviously there's a bunch of legendary talented people who come from New Orleans, but that structure that Atlanta has as far as you know the different studios, the movies being shot.
Right around here, bro. Right now it's like Rob 49.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Atlanta already has the. So if we talking like just the timeline, like LA is obviously that's where Hollywood started. Like that's you know the original birthplace of the movie industry. New York, mostly because of like being the birthplace of hip hop, and at one point like a lot of record labels were out there. That became like the second, you know, media place. Right after them, like most people like the late 80s, early 90s, and obviously in the last 30 something years since, like it's been Atlanta. Like Atlanta's been the third Mecca, you know what I mean? And we grew up, even though we didn't, I mean, I think we were all born in the city, am I right? Or born
in Marietta. I'm born in Marietta.
I mean, either way, like I was born in the city, but we all grew up.
I was born in Kennesaw Hospital.
But we all grew up right outside the city. So just that idea of whatever dream you have, especially as Black people, being attainable and not having to think about like, can I be this? Is it possible? Like we went to high school with, I feel like we say his name every episode. Shout out to him again, but like we went to high school with Tony Snow. Like this is a dude I had science class with. You get what I'm saying? Like, and even outside of him, like we know people. I'll be on Instagram and I'll be scrolling through like skits or whatever. I'll see people I went to school with appearing in like skits that have like 200,000 likes. And I'm like, bro, like this is just a random dude that I went to. I remember it was like a kid we went to high school with. I don't even remember his name. He was like a white kid. He was like, maybe like you graduated 2 years after us. He was like super popping on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So like,
we went to high school with Woviki.
No, I think she got there right after us. But either way, like
same high school though.
But you get what I'm saying? Like the idea of becoming famous from here, I feel like it's something we take for granted. Like you can very easily make certain handshakes and get cool with certain people, and then next thing you know, you out of here.
People think that like people would think you lying, bruh. Like if you just sat down with them and was talking like. So I'm watching, not to go dark here, but I'm gonna go a little dark. I was talking to Mo about this too. I'm watching the little cop footage of the police pulling up to Cardi house about a call that he get from his pregnant girlfriend that's claiming that Cardi, you know what I'm saying, put hands on her and stuff like that. So I'm looking at the thumbnail. I said, this look like I'm gonna say her name because it's already out. It's got hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views on the internet. I'm saying this look like Brandy. Brandy went to Osborne, which is in Cobb County. So she from the same county. And, she was popping on Instagram. So everybody in Cobb County already knew Brandy. So I'm watching it. I said, bro, that is Brandy. And everything like that. So I'm watching the full thing and I go past it, I skim through it or whatever. And then I look up like, I didn't know she was dating Cardi. I didn't know she was pregnant by Cardi. So I'm looking up her name on YouTube and I'm looking at a live and she like, yeah, I'm just here with my sisters, and her daughter, my niece. And the girl is like, it's this girl named Nicole we went to school with. I said, is that Nicole? It's crazy. It's literally like that, bro, with every single thing. And it's like the older I get, the more I feel like I know folks. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I went to high school with them. Oh, I used to work with them. Oh, we used to be in the botanical garden. Like it's literally like that all the time with everybody, bro. And people would think you lying if you just sit down next to them and you watch TV and you like, yeah, that's so and so from blah blah blah. That's so and so. They would think you're lying, but it's like literally just Atlanta, and Atlanta is as big of a city as it is really small. Like it's super small where you go to 2-3 events in the same type of genre, and you done met everybody already.
Right.
Everybody got.
Oh no, you good. I was just gonna say I got into a car accident one time, bro, and I was sitting there waiting for the cops to show up. And as I'm sitting on the side of the road over there by Sydney Markets, I look over, randomly just look over. It's Big Tigger in a convertible with a baddie in the front seat. And I was just like, that's so random. But that's Atlanta for you, Just like literally he just sitting there at the light, just waiting. And then he looks over, I look over, I was like, that's Big Tigger, huh? And then but
Tig from the dang 6-man days.
Right.
Yeah, there's my bad, bro.
No, you good. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's like growing up here, there were certain moments like that. Like I remember the idea of I remember seeing one of the Yin Yang twins at Six Flags when I was a kid. And it was like I kind of wanted to come up to him and get an autograph, but he had a bunch of people that was following him and stuff like that. But stuff like that, I remember I didn't see Jeezy himself, but Jeezy, remember Jeezy used to have that famous the bubblegum blue Lamborghini or whatever. I remember seeing that in the street. You know what I mean? He wasn't
the blue Lambo, the infamous blue Lambo.
Yeah, I think it was the one that was in the my president. Oh, my president is black. My Lambo is blue. So yeah, y'all know which one I'm talking about. But yeah, I literally remember seeing that in the street, parked outside somewhere. I remember, people. You're gonna think I'm making this up. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. On everything I love, because a lot of people don't know Elton John has lived in Atlanta since the early '90s. I remember seeing Elton John. He was riding passenger. He was pulling out of it was either Copeland's or Cheesecake Factory. It was one of those two. This is the 2000s. They didn't have no security following him or nothing. He was just him and another dude in the car. I'm assuming it was his partner. They was pulling out of Cheesecake Factory. And even as a kid, I was like, bro, that's Elton John. But nobody else in the car saw it. This is what I'm saying. It's just stuff like that. We take that stuff for granted growing up here.
Facts.
Seeing Elton
real,
John,
bro.
The
but I love the city, man. That's why I feel eventually, when I get older and have kids and all that, I want to have.
All right, so we getting rebooted right now. Yeah, man. Shouts out to the city of Atlanta. I think. No, I don't want to be federal because I don't want to be federal and say so and so is also living there. I know so and so they got a crib there, but it's a lot of black celebrities that people wouldn't know that have cribs out there in Atlanta and stuff like that.
You said out there. I keep forgetting, bro.
Yeah. I'm no longer in the city. I'm no
For
longer in the
full transparency for anybody listening, like this is we joked about this in real life, but like this is how backwards we are. We all lived in for like a brief period of time. We all went to college and separated for a while, like after we graduated high school. But there was a brief period of time this decade when we first started the podcast, where all of us lived in the city, and then we were just like, you know what, we're just gonna take like a 3-4 year break from the show. And in that time, our brother Rashad has moved to New Orleans for greener pastures in his career. But yeah, it is funny that we did start the podcast after he moved out the state.
Nah, 100%. Go ahead, Mo. Mo's back.
Yeah, man. Damn, it just man, this Wi-Fi, bro,
You
it's
said
crazy.
like when you had kids, you was gonna some with the city. Dang, Mo, what's going? Did the it had to be. I know he said his phone was about to die, so it might be the battery of the phone. But hold on, let me see. I think in the meantime though,
I just
like,
want to say this picture
yeah,
of
go
Ti
ahead.
is hilarious, by the way. I was
Hey,
trying to hold in my laughter when you first
hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Because he said what's the thing about Atlanta that other people would think is crazy? I think like just running into Ti because it's like running. I done seen Ti so many times, bro.
It's the king, pimp.
Like it's still one time. We had a dude from PBS at my old job. He was shooting something in our office. So he went in, came into our office. We said hello to him, and he was setting up his camera equipment. I don't know what documentary he was shooting for real. But Andrew Young came in. It was Henry Louis Gates, his show on PBS. He was filming in the office. It was pretty cool. So they come roll. They just say hello. Then Ti come in, bruh. And like, even though I've seen Ti a gazillion times, like I still was like, oh snap. That was like one of my favorite rappers as a kid. One of your favorite rappers as a kid, you look at them like a dang superhero. Go ahead, Mo.
Man, what's up, y'all? Man, my dang Wi-Fi is like going crazy on me. My bad. But yeah, what I was saying is by the end of at the end of the day, when I get like married, have kids and all that, I would love to live somewhere where I have acres of land, where there's no like street lights and stuff where you can see all the stars. But I want it to be right outside the city, because I feel like my connection to the city, I really realize like, I am that's just my type of energy. Like the fast pace, like I love when I went to New York. I remember being in New York and when I went there, I went with my ex and my family. And before we went there, my ex was like, I just think you're gonna love New York because I just think you're just gonna love it. I could just tell. And like getting there, I was like, yeah, this is the way of life that I would love to live. And like I would love to live there for like a year. It's too cold though, so I can't be there too long. But I would love to live in that type of like environment where it's just fast paced, just like the city that never sleeps. I love that. Cause literally like being in New York, I remember I went to the jazz bar and they were playing like live jazz and stuff. And next thing you know, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, and it legit felt like it was like one or two. And in Atlanta, if it's 4 or 5 in the morning, you gonna know it's 4 or 5 in the morning. Because at that point, you really stretching it. Like whatever you doing probably should have been done, just to be real. Or you at one of those after hours, like opium or something. But what's crazy though? Okay, this is a whole other subject. How many places, unless you really in the know of like the Atlanta nightlife, how many places close at 2 and then open back up about 3:30, and they'll have like after hours. Like I've been to a few places where it's like they'll kick everybody out. They'll be like, yeah, it's like everybody gotta go. And then if you know the right people, it'll be like, hey, yeah, you come back for the after hours? You'll be like, after hours? Like, yeah, like like they open it back up about another hour or two, and or like really about another like 45 to an hour. And you'd be like, what? Yeah, it's just like X, Y, and Z going on. And it's like, wow, it's crazy. But that's Atlanta for you. But it threw me off because I've been to at least like 3 different places where that happened, and I was like, man, I'm thinking this is it, but it's like, shoot. But a lot of times it's like because of industry, especially like in this like serving industry, the bartenders, and like whoever else and whatever. So everybody be like more tapped in and stuff. But
Yo, speaking of after hours, like you just saying that just made me think of something. Like I remember hearing that we got Pappadeaux here, but the main Pappadeaux is the ones in Houston, or the ones just in Texas, but the ones in Houston are like famous Pappadeaux. And I heard stories that Jay Prince would pay like the owners, and he would tip out who's ever working at the bar, or just the staff in general, for them to keep Pappadeaux open late night, like till like 2-3 in the morning sometimes. And that's always been like one of my goals in life, is to reach that level of money and power where
right,
I can contact the even if it's not Pappadeaux, like any restaurant I want, and just have them stay open for the night, just for like me and the homies or whatever.
See, one thing about me, as Mo knows far too well, I like going home. Like, so I won't know about after hours and all of these things, because at about 1, 2, if I'm not out by 1, that means I'm like being a good sport for the homies. If I'm still out at 2 and they say it's time to go home, and we get in the parking lot and we parking lot politicking, whatever. Oh, so what we If it's not Waffle House, something to get something to eat before we go to sleep, I'm going home, bro. 9 times out of 10. Mo can vouch. So I don't know about the after hours, bro, because I'll be going home.
I'm starting to be more of I'm starting to go out more in my. I'm kind of the opposite. Like I feel like I know when we was in our early 20s, Mo was outside for sure. Like Mo was definitely.
Mo always been outside. Like
like,
Mo was outside when we was teenagers. Mo was outside in college. Mo was outside in his 20s.
Yeah, so I was about to say, like, you probably at this point starting to slow down a little bit. I was the opposite. I was in the crib for like most of my 20s, and now in my late 20s, going into 30s, I'm starting to go out more, and like, because not to go back to the conversation we just had, but like I am starting to be more appreciative of the fact of where I live and like the opportunities that are there. So yeah, now I'm starting to be more willing to be out till like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, just because it's like life is short. Why not?
No, facts. It'd be one thing, especially with Atlanta. I'm like, you never know where the night can take you, and that's one thing I love about just the nightlife in Atlanta. It's you got to be careful because after a certain point ain't really too much good happening, but it's like it's so many places. But as I said, like it'd be interesting really finding out like. I said, like, Opium After Hours probably one of the most lit places I've been in the city. Bro, I went to Opium After Hours, bro. No cap. The lady accidentally brought us a whole extra bottle. And it was just like, oh, I was supposed to bring it for y'all, but whatever. And then, like, the girl we were with ended up just taking the bottle and then put it in a bag and then, like, took it home. But crazy story about that night. This is, okay, side note. Yo, that same homeboy we was talking about who sister is Lauren LaRosa. So that night we had met these girls and like we met them at this one spot. They end up like was like, yo, y'all trying to come up to this next spot. We went to the next spot with them, and then they was like, we got a section of Opium After Hours. So it was like, they was like, yo, y'all just put in for the section. So we like, okay. It was throwing me off because I'm like, they really wasn't trying to have us pay for nothing for them. It was just like, hey, just come through. Like, but I think they just maybe whoever originally got the section with bailed. So they were like, yo, y'all put in for the section and like, pop out. So we like, bet, it's a vibe. So one girl, the girl I was with particular, we were vibing. And so, but then at the end of the night, she was like, she gave me her number. And it was just like, all right, like, just hit me up sometime. We about to leave. And so I'm like, okay, bet. You know, it was like cool little 3-on-3. And then so she dips off, and then my homeboys tell me like, yo, like they finna go to Waffle House. You want to go to Waffle House? I'm like, yeah, we can slide. So as I'm walking out, I see her with this other dude. So I'm like, okay, that was random. Like, all right, you know, I'm thinking like, where this man come from, you know? But and so what I'm assuming is I think that was her actual dude. You feel me? And so we all go to Waffle House. We at Waffle House, and my homeboy pull up before me and my other friend does. Sees her with her dude, walks up to her and go, "Hey, weren't you just with my mans? What you doing?" Oh my gosh, bro. I pull up, right? So then when I pull up, she pulls me to the side. She's like, "Yo, your friend is wilding. Like, you need to get your friend." Like, he over here saying XYZ. I'm like, bruh, no way. And I'm like, bruh, you said that. He was like, man, nah. I ain't finna let no girl disrespect my homie. This, that, and the other. I'm like, and like, I was just like, bruh, but like, you you could have played this a lot better, bro. Like, at least let me get there. You feel me? Like, I don't know. It was crazy. And I think it and yeah, I just ended up falling back on that. I was like, let me not, because after that, it just got kind of awkward and it was just, but yeah, man. But you know, Atlanta Knights, bro, you know, this is how it happens, you know. So that's why I love the city. That's why I be outside sometimes, because you never know. That was just one random night with some random girls. And, you know, you see them here, they here today, gone tomorrow, you know.
You can't even smash someone's and girls in peace without being, without someone making it awkward. What is the world coming to?
That's what I'm saying. Like, she was trying to set me up to be the side dude. You feel me? Like,
He was in
I
there.
started peeping. Yeah, like I was like, oh, okay, like I see the play, you know? And like, cause then when we were all together, she did not mention in front of him nothing that just happened. So I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely your dude. And you trying to play this cool, you feel me? But then when my homeboy did all that and even more, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna just fall back from this one.
My boy said, I'm in the corner, man. I'm playing my role. I
Right.
said, in the corner. And he trying to blow up the spot. Like, they running the play for me. They ain't running the play for me. I'm sitting in the corner. I'm waiting for me to get the ball. I'm gonna execute when I get the ball. It is what it is. Speaking of, did y'all see George Niang? Who was he trash talking? He was trash talking Quentin Grimes from Philly. And he
Yeah.
because Quentin Grimes, he been hooping this past month or whatever since the Mavericks traded him to Philly. And he was like, "You not like that. You a role player just like me. When Maxi come back, you gonna be right there in that corner." He said, "When Embiid come back, you gonna be right back there in that corner." And that was so real, man. Like, it's like sometimes you got to know when you're gonna be in that corner for real, and like you got to play your role, and you got to be a superstar in your role, as coach speak as that is. But that's just how it is for real.
The
Exactly,
NBA.
bro. So like early. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna
Oh,
say, like, the NBA really crazy because all these dudes are like the 1% of the 1% of NBA players, of basketball players in the world. But like, clearly, it's levels to just think about going your whole life being better than literally everybody that you know at basketball, and then you get to the league and you're amongst the only other guys who are better than you in the world.
right.
Your whole life, you're the best player everywhere in every league for your entire life. And then you get to college, just to get to college, just to play like Division 1 basketball and be in the rotation, you have to be like the best player on your team your entire life. That is insane. It's the same thing with football. Like in football, to start at Auburn, you have to be like the best player in your high school's history. That is so insane to think about. These things, I don't know. I don't know.
No, facts.
I don't think people fully
Yeah.
grasp that stuff.
No, you know, they say you more likely to get struck by lightning than to make it to the NBA. So, you know, all you kids out there with hoop dreams, man, hey, study a little harder. I promise you
Nah,
don't
nah.
need
Hey,
it.
they need to be like my boy Joshua, bruh.
Joshua who?
The boy that wrote the book at 3, got into Morehouse at 13.
Yeah, we're gonna have to read what that book about.
Bruh. So did you hear this story, Jelani?
No, I haven't heard
This
this,
kid's
but
name is
I,
Joshua
I just
Sutter.
rolled my eyes when you said wrote the book at 3
He
because,
wrote a book at 3 years old, bruh. I promise you he did.
and I'm not hating on no young black man. So let me start right there.
Nah, see, look, bro. Here it is, bro. The Explorer, the Brother Explorers. It's a children's book written by a 3-year-old. He
You
wrote
know,
a book at 3 years old, bro.
okay, you know what I think most likely happened?
What?
I think he was probably telling, like, you know, like when you're a little kid, like you just tell stories to your parents. You just talk, you know what I mean? You just talk to your mom or your dad or whatever about whatever. I think he was just telling stories to his mom, and his mom was just writing it down, like, you know what I mean, something like that. Which it takes being creative, but like I don't like the idea of it trying to make it seem like he was 3 years old sitting there at a typewriter, like moving his little fingers and editing this for real.
Oh,
Facts.
bro, he a genius, bro. That's why he got into Morehouse at 13, bro.
You think he came up with the name J.W. Sudith? You think he was like, hey, nah, don't put Joshua.
Instead of
I'm
Josh?
J.W. now.
instead of like Joshy Washi? Is that what the JW stands for? Joshy Washi?
Joshy Washy Sudith is hilarious. And he was inspired by J.K. Rowling. He's like, I want to be
Right.
fancy for this one.
Okay, so if you wrote a book at 3, what do you think is the age he first read a Harry Potter book?
Bro, do you know, like, we grew up in the accelerated reading era. Like, reading a Harry Potter book used to be like that was a commitment, dog. It used to take you, like, even if you was reading pages every day, it was gonna take you like a good month and a half to read like a full Harry Potter book.
That's
bro.
good timing.
Yeah, but that's, bro, that I remember like that because they used to break it down by like I think it was by like every 4 weeks they would take the points for the accelerated reading or whatever. They used to take up a good amount of time reading them Harry Potter books. But yeah, shout out to Joshy Washi, you know what I mean?
Right.
I wish you the best at Morehouse. So how does that work because we see these stories all the time where it'll be like these kid geniuses who go to college early. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing for them socially as far as like their development.
We ain't there for social. We there for the education.
That sound good right now. That sound good to you 25 and don't know how to interact. Listen,
you need to know how to interact with women if you got the most money.
No. I'm not even talking about with women. I'm just saying like the idea
you're saying just in general.
Of like, when does he get to interact with other kids his age? Does he?
But ain't that Mark Zuckerberg?
That's Mark Zuckerberg is not even a human. He and I shouldn't even say that on camera. He's gonna have.
Oh yeah. My Meta. Yeah. It was a joke.
Exactly. This is AI, like Future said in that video. But yeah, no, I do worry about these kid geniuses. Like, as far as it's the same thing with like child stars. Like, they don't get to really. I don't know his daily life. He might have cousins or whatever, but I think about every time I see those headlines where it's like some 12-year-old girl got accepted in Stanford or something like that. It's like, is this what she really wants to do? Like, if you sat her down.
He said this was his goal since he was 4, because when he was 4, after he wrote his first book, of course, he learned about Martin Luther King Jr. And Martin Luther King Jr. got into Morehouse when he was 15. So his goal was to best that and get into Morehouse before Martin Luther King did. So he skipped from like 1st grade to 3rd grade. Then he skipped from 3rd grade to 5th grade. Then he skipped from 5th grade to 7th grade. And that's how he got to where he is now.
Oh wait, so he's not at Morehouse yet. He just got accepted.
No. He just got accepted.
Oh, okay.
He's still in high school. He's doing dual enrollment with a local school because he's from Conyers, so he out there on the east side. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, I was confused. My bad,
Yeah,
guys.
no. Yeah, no. So salute to him for sure. And he looks old, and this is probably the oldest looking picture they have of him, because he looked kind of 15, 16-ish in this picture, low key. But yeah, man. Salute to Joshua Sudeth. Bro, Mo, did you know your boy's out of jail? I mean, no. Your boy's back in jail.
Who?
White boy, William Banks.
Hold on, you broke up. Who?
White boy, William Banks.
That's the white dude that got in jail, Cobb. I mean, not Cobb, but on Twitter and whatever.
Yes.
Oh, so it wasn't a prank.
Bruh, when I seen it, I was like, ain't no way. I'm thinking it's just a. So, Jelani, you've been keeping up with this, or you remember? Because I think we brought it up last episode, right?
I actually saw this from before it went viral. Somebody I follow was retweeting these random clips of this white dude in jail. This is when he had 1,000 followers. I'm like, bro, why are you putting this on my timeline? And then the one video of all of them escaping jail went viral, and then But to answer your question, I've been keeping up with but I didn't know he went. So they proved that it wasn't real.
It's got to be real. So I think it was last episode, actually, we brought it up, right? We brought up the party flyer and said, welcome home, free. William Banks is free. Welcome home, homecoming party, whatever, something like that, right? And it had the address. And I was talking to Mo about it, and Mo was like, no way that this is real. It's got to be a skit for him to throw the address on there because he's been on the run or whatever. So turns out, buddy, right after the party gets arrested. This ain't no skit. He really escaped from jail and posted it on Twitter. This is the craziest thing you'll ever see on the internet. Look at this man.
I thought it was performance art, and I was going to say this is one of the best examples of performance art I've seen.
NYPD ain't putting up with all this. Because I thought that at first, but I'm like, they doing too much, bro.
Sorry,
ain't no way.
Guys. Let me know what I can help.
Wait, hold on.
Escape from jail.
Can I follow you guys, or
You can go to the precinct.
do you know which one?
It's 13th precinct, 21st Street,
Okay, cool.
and 3rd.
And it's here downtown, or
21st Street.
okay, great.
NYPD ain't doing
Thanks so
that
much.
for a skit, dog.
No, they're not.
I don't know. They got one detective over there popping in music videos. Ain't no telling what they might do.
Yeah. I forgot. NYPD is wilding right now. They are wilding. Did she get fired for that?
I don't think she legally could, because they got a union for the cops. What you can't. The thing I think they said that she's good is because she wasn't wearing her uniform or anything like that in the video.
It's crazy.
Yo,
NYPD.
that is insane.
But yeah, speaking of NYPD, I got a real question for y'all boys. Jeff T, so y'all keep up with Jeff T podcast, right? Relatively, y'all watch the clips and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen the clips.
We all can agree they pretty wild on that podcast, right?
Yeah.
As wild. What'd you say?
No, I was going to say they have certain moments. I don't think T be wild. His
B Hen,
his homie B Hen be getting some wild clips
for sure. So even with all of that, right? One thing they've never addressed is NYPD beating Thabo Sefolosha's leg out of the NBA playoffs. The craziest story they do not talk about at all in the NBA. No one talks about it. This man, your starting wing is out for the playoffs due to police brutality. They don't talk about it once. T talk about everything else. He talk about who teammate was smashing who girl. He talk about when Giannis was screaming in a huddle and nobody cared in the NBA Finals, he talked about what TA done said, Giannis' brother done said when he was on the Bucks. He talked about PG. He telling all these stories from every team, and he has yet to bring that up. The most obvious thing.
I don't know
Y'all
if
think
it's the most obvious.
is up there. Just think about it. That changed like the course of NBA history. LeBron James might have 9 finals appearances or 9 out of 10 finals appearances instead of 10 in a row if Thabo Sefolosha and Damari Carroll and Kyle Korver and Al Horford, who all got hurt before the series or got hurt in the series because Dellavedova dove at their legs for 2 of them. He hurt Damari Carroll and he hurt Kyle Korver, and he was going to hurt Al Horford. And then Thabo Sefolosha was out with the police. Like, they didn't even have a fair shot. And like everybody just kind of laughs. It's like, oh, the Hawks won 60 games, but they got swept the most important time of the year. And it's like, well, they didn't have half of the team. They didn't have half the rotation. Nobody talks about this stuff. But me, I remember. It's the same thing with the Cardi stuff. When everybody went, when Ye said he put on Cardi, and people was like, "No, ASAP Rocky put on Cardi." I was like, "ASAP Rocky, father put on Cardi. Ethereal put on Cardi. What is y'all talking about? Ethereal." So it's just, I don't know. It's just certain things that I'm like, getting older. I'm like, I was there for that, and that's not how that went. And you're not gonna like gaslight me into believing that it happened anyway different. Anyways, if y'all want to go, y'all can go.
That's
I
a
mean,
crazy story.
okay.
My bad.
No, you good. I was gonna say to the Cephalosha part. I forgot about that personally. And I don't know why he doesn't speak on that. You know, that is interesting. You know, maybe he's waiting for him to come on to tell the story himself, because maybe Teague wasn't there. You know, so like, but the Cardi part, like he started with Father and all them, but he didn't drop no music with none of them for real. Like the songs that broke him was when he was with Rocky.
He dropped Beef and Broke Boy. That's enough with Alpha Records.
Okay, that I was gonna say that started, you know, that definitely put him in the conversation to be seen. But it wasn't until Magnolia, for real, that Cardi really took off to be Cardi. And then from there, like, you know, ASAP really kind of helped like mold and push that forward. So that's why, like, I feel like they say, because it's like Broke Boy, Cardi wasn't mainstream with Broke Boy. You know, we can't, but that's like, but with Magnolia, with ASAP Rocky,
it was a radio hit. It was a radio hit.
Yeah, that's like, what's Buddy name? Buddy that used to that signed Meg Thee Stallion. Carl. Yeah,
Carl Crawford.
That's like saying Carl Crawford put him on. I mean, put Megan on, but it's like he signed her. You know,
he put Meg on. He put Meg on, bro. Oh no. My bad. Go continue, Mo. Because I see where you're going now.
Well, yeah, you know, it's like he definitely gave her a boost, you know, to start getting her name into conversation, just like Father and all of them Awful Records did give Cardi the boost to be seen by Rocky. But what propelled him, and I think that's what people say, is the put on, you know? Like, what really put you into the game, you know, for Cardi to become Cardi today? Because Cardi would not be Cardi today if he did not meet A$AP Rocky. Like, I'm going to just keep it a buck. If he was with Father and them still, it's no telling where he would be.
Yo, Cardi, first time I heard of Cardi, he was under Awful Records. But like Mo said, he went mainstream, you know, once we signed with, I think it's called that's how you pronounce it, or whatever, Rocky's label. That's definitely when he went mainstream. I feel like, and not to get off track from what you were talking about with Thabo Sefolosha, Cardi's career is so fascinating to me because I feel like he got more popular by treating his fans like shit. And it's kind of impressive to me. Like, this dude, there have been multiple tours that were supposed to start, or just multiple shows on his tours that just get canceled. And he won't, most artists would be like, they'll tweet out a message like, I'm sorry about these unforeseen circumstances. He won't say a word. He won't announce that the show got canceled. He won't announce that it's getting replaced. He delayed the album a bunch of times before he put the most recent album out, delayed it for years, and just did the biggest first week numbers of his career. So shout out to Cardi for treating his fans like shit. But you talking about Thabo Sefolosha, an NBA story I feel like doesn't really get talked about enough, or like doesn't get talked about at all. Do you remember? I know you can remember this because we all watch sports. Do you remember when LeBron first went back to Cleveland? So the summer before, he went on like a diet, and he was like super duper skinny, like skinnier than he had ever been when he first went back to Cleveland. And he had like some sort of injury or like a strain or whatever. And in the middle of the season, this is like, I've never seen this, you know what I mean? In the middle of the season, he took a 2-week Miami. This is in like December or something like that, of that 2014 season. He comes back from that 2-week vacation, and he's looking like regular LeBron again. He got his muscles. He's back popping. Nobody questioned it. Nobody brought it up any further than that. That's one of those stories I just was like, I'm not trying to accuse him or nothing, but I just always thought that was like one of the weirder NBA stories that doesn't get talked about by anybody.
Don't get me started on Bron conspiracies, bro. Because
he got a few.
Yeah, y'all remember what the nephew? Y'all remember what the wrestler said, right? When Bronny had his situation at USC.
What'd he say?
Mo, do you remember before I say it?
Nah.
The wrestler said, I'm sorry, okay. I don't forget. All right. He said, Bronny's condition probably came from Bronny taking steroids.
All right, so this was a great episode, man. Nah, that's crazy. I didn't hear that. That's a crazy accusation. I don't. So I'm not gonna put that on young Bronny. But if you said Bron did at some point, I mean, I would believe you.
But it's like, but the Bronny accusation, obviously kind of goes to like the most obvious conspiracy theory right now in the NBA of like, year 25. How is he still going between the legs behind the head at year 25? He's 45 years old and he's dunking like this. I think it's we all, what I'm saying?
Yo, do you, on a similar situation, do you remember, okay, so when Peyton Manning, he had the neck injury in Indianapolis, go to Denver. But it was looking like there was like talks of him never playing again or whatever. He goes to Denver and he's looking better than he's ever looked in his career, balling out every year, putting up numbers. And then there was a story that Peyton Manning's wife had mailed some HGH in her name to their house. It wasn't in his name. It was in her name. This is like, you remember this. It's like right before his last season. And then out of nowhere, he didn't just have a bad season. He went from being Peyton Manning to being the worst quarterback in the NFL, could barely throw the ball downfield, missed half the year out of nowhere. And everybody was just like, after he won the Super Bowl, was just like, oh, well, that was a great career. Send him off to the Hall of Fame. I think about that story a lot, though, because that completely disappeared.
No, that's a fact. I do remember that one. And I remember thinking, I was like, dang, they about to get my boy Peyton up out of here, man. So I was a big Peyton Manning fan growing up, but yeah, I don't know what happened with that one, man. Hey, he still got that.
Oh, go ahead, Mo. Go ahead, Mo.
I was gonna say he got that last ring, so everybody forgot. So that's all that matters.
Bron, we don't even have to say remember what happened in 2014. Remember what happened in 2010. Remember what happened this week when a 40-year-old LeBron James broke his leg and he was supposed to be out for 6 weeks. In 2 weeks, he's running back, running up and down the floor in front of the Laker girls, dunking at full speed. And he comes back after missing like 5 games because the Lakers were losing too much. And he's just looking like regular LeBron. He's 40 years old. Like, okay, all right, yeah, he's 40 years old. He takes care of his body. Like, your body doesn't recover quicker when you get older. But, you know, I don't want the clutch SUVs to pull up on me and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's kind of like they're pissing on our leg and telling us it's raining right now. And, you know, obviously LeBron's had a great career and a great thing. But come on now, like, I grew up in the Royd era with baseball, you know what I'm saying? Like, baseball, like, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were like headline TV, hitting 62, 63 home runs in a season, you know, like 73 home runs in a season from Barry Bonds. Like, that's what I grew up on. So it was exciting. But then when everybody was like, oh, these guys are cheating, like, everybody kind of deflated, you know, the excitement out of it. And a lot of those guys can't even get into the Hall of Fame now when they were clearly the best players of that era. What are we going to do in basketball? We just going to overlook it? I guess so, because who's playing on Thursday night on TNT is probably going to be the Lakers and whoever they're playing that night.
Listen, this is the thing that people lose sight of when they talk about the NFL or all these leagues. Like, there's nothing, just from a legal standpoint, like, there's nothing that separates the NBA from the WWE. Like, it's legally, it's the same type of company. These are entertainment companies. So from a branding standpoint, like, it's the same reason why people suspect that Michael Jordan got suspended in you know, he didn't retire, he got suspended, is because in 1993, if there had been a story that came out that we're talking about like prime Jordan when he's carrying the league, like, if there had been a story that came out that he was really as deep into the gambling as people suspect he was, the look just would have been catastrophic. So like, if it came back tomorrow that there was a drug test that LeBron did come back, the NBA don't want that type of press. Like, it's just certain players. Perfect example was like 2 years ago in the MLB. It was Albert Pujols last year. He was like 20-something home runs away from reaching 700 home runs. Now, Albert Pujols has not hit over 20 home runs at that point in like 10 years. Like, Albert Pujols could barely swing the bat at that point of his career. All of a sudden, in his last year, he has one of the best years of his career and is just putting up numbers like it's 2003 again. And when the season was over, you know, we can't test him no more because he's not in the league. The happy story has already happened. Everybody goes on about their day. It's just entertainment at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a great point. It's a great point for sure. Because, you know, it's definitely some stuff that I can't say that. I'm working here now, but, you know, y'all could put 2 and 2 together of basketball players in the place that I work in. You know what I'm saying?
The freaky man, the freak bull almighty.
But it's like, you know, like, it would just be random games where okay, all right, I gotta be careful with this. I just hope this don't go.
Yeah, let's move on to the next.
Okay, all right. Never mind then. I'm not gonna be careful. I'm gonna keep my job. Jelani said, "Keep your job, Rashad." I said, "Okay, bet."
Hey, me and Mo twins, we both. I see my boy yawning in the corner. I hit a couple off to the.
Oh yeah. I was yawning 30 minutes ago. We
thugging it out for y'all. Listen, we all have. For sure. We all have.
I want to say this about Cardi. Another thing, I think he's another great example of, like, if your music's good enough, nobody's gonna care. Like, DDG can say, "I want to see my son," and it's like, yo, F DDG. I'm never listening to this dude's music again. Playboy Cardi can have allegation on allegation on allegation from 3 different women in 3 different periods of his life, and people just go, fresh out of whip at a boat, not hitting no bricks, including myself. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I've been bumping music and I love that album. Like, you know what I'm saying? But Like it's crazy the standard of cancellation with and the tolerance with someone like a Cardi versus someone that you like. Say if it was Neo, that had the type of allegations that Cardi has with the amount of through the eras, people would be like, man, stop playing that and turn that Neo off. Like, but it's Playboy Cardi, so it's like, hey man, we rock vamp life, you know what I'm saying? Rockstar life.
Yeah, I mean, my boy beating the allegations left and right. So I mean, you're right. It's all about perspective of who people care about. If they not even just like your music, but if they just like your content in general. People just rock with you. They're gonna overlook a lot. But they say that's the way of the world, bro. Yo, but on a conspiracy note, y'all saw the pyramids and how they go ahead and look up the beams under the pyramids, bro.
Okay, so I didn't watch the whole video, but I saw it was like somebody on my TikTok feed. I did see a video pop up about just real quick before I scroll past.
What is this?
Type in the beams under the pyramids.
Well, how you spell it? Beads? You said beads?
Oh
beams,
no,
like still
beams.
Beam.
Oh,
no,
beams,
beams.
like
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah.
Or pillars. Actually, that'd probably be better. Pillars under. Oh, right there. Breaking. Scientists confirm new discovery underneath.
Anything Joe Rogan, I'm not clicking. I'm just kidding. Kind of halfway. Wait,
the
what was this
velocity.
one?
Yeah.
Taxes was taxing.
I just want to show the image. We ain't got to watch the whole.
Egyptian archaeologists have made a remarkable discovery beneath the iconic Giza pyramid complex, potentially altering our understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization.
I'm seeing, like you said, I'm seeing Jelani. He had another one, so I'm trying to.
Show up.
I said I seen Jelani have another one, so I was like, all right, let me.
Oh no, we good, bro. I'm actually I'm good. I'll be yawning when it could be broad daylight. I'll be yawning sometimes. Like I feel like once you reach a certain age, you just permanently tired.
What's the image? Thanks. What's the image, Mo?
Okay, it should have been. It was on the. Hold on.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, they said was this a real discovery or was this?
Yeah, this was this was real.
Okay.
And yeah, underground structures.
I'm trying to see if I can see some pictures.
Yeah, because there we go. Go up.
Right here.
So yeah.
I'll briefly summarize.
Yeah, it's underground beams,
Yeah. So they're saying they believe that's under the pyramids. And then it's like a spiral staircase that goes what do you keep going back? Just go back, bro. Essentially you can stop there.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna stop with this one.
Yeah.
This where you want me to stop?
Yeah. And so essentially they're saying that there's underground pillars that's all there is 8 of them that's lined up parallel to each other, and then it goes down around 2 kilometers underneath the ground, and then underneath that they believe it's big large I guess blocks of something that they feel it leads down to, and they have the pillars that go around them that they feel are kind of like spiral staircases, and they said it's remnant of the what Nikola Tesla had created for his concept for like, you know, generating power and stuff like that. And so they think they're kind of like coils. And they also found like on the inside of the pyramid that there's these hidden well, I guess it's yeah, like hidden little like bunkers that's inside of it as well. But yeah, bro, you know, it goes into the conspiracy theory that I ain't gonna hold you. I've been on this for like a little minute just about how the thought of the pyramids weren't really like they say that the pyramids were supposed to be, you know, tombs, but it's like no, if you look it up from what I've seen, there's no actual like bodies or nothing been discovered there. It's just like that's what they just tell you that it's like it was a tomb. And but what some people believe that they were power generators and that they were used and then like the actual color of them and everything is like it was a completely different color. It wasn't like looking all sandy or whatnot. But yeah, and they believe that, you know, that they used that to generate power within the land around the area and that it could have possibly been used. This is like, you know, far out. I think more of like the power, it being a power generator. I think that is very likely. But they also say it could have possibly been used as a weapon of mass destruction to generate power to be able to destroy different like areas, kind of like used to be kind of like a nuke in a way, but just a heavily like generated like, you know, stuff like that. Stuff
like
like
a landmine.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what, you know, allegedly at certain points. Now, this is going to the real deep conspiracy theories. You can see that there possibly some of the bricks that's around the area, they look kind of burnt. And so they're saying that, you know, possibly, you know, somebody or another civilization might have, you know, went ahead and got them like they were getting people, you know, and could have went ahead and just kind of, cause they, you know, that whole area used to be grass and, you know, the pyramids used like, especially like the Sphinx, I think they said was like, there's evidence that it used to sit in a bed of water. But, you know, now that whole area is just nothing but sand. And so they think, you know, that's a, you know, deep conspiracy that it could have possibly been hit by some type of weapon of mass destruction that just kind of essentially obliterated everything and heated it up so heavy that it just burnt everything in the area, you know, and then just kind of turned it to a whole different climate. But yeah, but they discovered these beams, which kind of more supports the thought of that.
Oh, go ahead, Jelani.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like none of these theories are like when people talk about the conspiracy theory, like none of these I don't take anything as being like too far-fetched. So much stuff that people in the moment would say like, oh, that sounds crazy or that sounds far-fetched, and then the government will come out 60, 70 years later and be like, no, that really happened like that. Yeah, it's certain wonders of this world that we can't fathom. Like there's certain things that we accept as being normal just on a day that we like, how do we know? Like you see all these documentarians and they'll say like exactly what Mo said, like they'll say this was a tomb or this was that. Bro, we wasn't around doing interviews to know like what this was or how did this, you know, we follow these timelines that we're taught in the history books and we just accept it for what it is. Like none of us and I don't, the people will say that when you say the pyramids were built by like extraterrestrials or stuff like that, it kind of has like a racist connotation to it. Like that's been something that's been said. But when you really think about it, like how would you even know to have like, how do you know what I'm saying? Like, how would you know? Okay, let's say it's ancient times, you want to build the pyramids. How would you even know to take the first step to lay the first block to make this happen. Like so much coordination, so much genius level thought had to go into making this type of stuff that I wouldn't put none of these theories or just say that or just throw them out the window. You know what I mean?
No, facts. One video that I saw, just kind of the theory that possibly they had a high level 3D printer back in those days. Just how we're able to create things, just the way that we create things now with like different 3D printers, but they had like one that was just such a higher level, and to be able to form things. Because I just think, one thing in particular, the theory that it was these millions of slaves that took these huge blocks and carried them so far. Like, I just think that part for sure is just crap. Like, because if you look at just the distance that they had to travel, because the blocks that create the pyramids, like that whole type of like the material that's made from that is not found in that area. It's found like miles away. And so you're saying these people picked all this stuff up, carried it dummy far, and then it's like the pyramids are so in a line that you can't even put like a dollar bill in between it, bro. It's like everything is perfectly shaped. Every last block is perfectly shaped to fit how it needs to fit. So, I think the thought behind that sometimes where we just accepted it. I got a homeboy that graduated with a master's degree in and sometimes I think chemistry or whatever. But having these discussions with him, and it's like, and I think for some people if you don't, they cling to the thought that comes within like a lot of these books, like science books and stuff of that nature, because if the thought of the unknown is, I wouldn't say necessarily scary, but it's like it's unnerving, because it's like, and then just to be the thought behind that you've been told a lie, because then it's like if you believe one thing, then it's going to make you have to question so many other things. So then you just start to think, let me just go ahead and just stick to the status quo, because this is what they said. I don't want to have to sit here and question everything I ever learned, and especially like, people who got doctors and masters, that's a lot of schooling. That's a lot of time, a lot of effort you put into it, You don't want to feel like I did all this for nothing, I think that's what somewhat goes into that sometimes. But, I don't know, I'll be deep into, to my little conspiracies and whatnot.
Well, willful ignorance, I think, just in life is safe, because once you question, like I bring it up all the time, but in the Panini in 2020, 2021, like I went deep into the world of extensionalism and nihilism, and it was like that essentially is just you just asking questions, and then the more questions you ask, the more nothing makes sense. And then you're like, if nothing makes sense, what is the purpose? And then you're like, I don't know. And, like that's just where you get to. And I think if you settle at a certain level of willful ignorance of just like, okay, what you tell me is what it is, and I'm going to stick to that and nothing else, I think that makes life living just easier. Because like the more you do asking, the more you're like, I don't know anything. It's almost like you said, it's scary, bro. It's scary to realize you don't know anything, which is just growing up, realizing you know nothing. Look at this. The Statue of Liberty is like the size of like a pinky toe here. The Twin Towers, the size of like not even a quarter of this. The World Trade Center, not even the biggest thing that we know of in the world. The what's that? Is it Khalifa?
The Burj Khalifa. Yes, and I forget where. I think it's in Dubai. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but that thing ain't even, like, you know what I'm saying? Compared to this, the underground system.
how did they discover this? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, did they? I gotta do some more. Shout out to Lil Reese. Well, no, not shout out to Lil Reese actually, but I got to do a little bit more research. In the words of Lil Reese, yeah, when I get off, because I did see it pop up on my TikTok feed. But the thing that they're talking about though, when they say, because I saw somebody talking about this, they were talking about Aurora Borealis, and they were saying that it's like another conspiracy theory was that Aurora Borealis it's like a sun on Earth for alien technology, or like alien, like there's some sort of alien life form that they use it as energy. So like I find it kind of fascinating, the idea of the theory of the pyramids being like an energy source for some sort of you know what I mean, just using as an energy source in general. Like I find that kind of fascinating. But yeah, it is very wild how little we know about the world and how much of it we're never going to find out.
Facts. And just, the thought, I think, also this would probably, I think a lot of this stuff probably came like pre-flood. Because, there's every civilization talks about a great flood. And I think that sometimes, the people look at it just like the biblical story, blah, blah. But there's like actual facts that point to there was a massive flood that overtook the world. And just a thought of like, I don't know, that there definitely could have been civilizations there prior to this. And I think, the biggest thing that irritates me sometimes, bro, on some real, is that people just try to say that all these people back in these ancient times were just these like rigid cavemans, and how could they do all this stuff? And it's just like, we can't even fathom what they did. It's like some of the stuff that was created, we can't even recreate now with the technology that we have. And we're set to believe that they were just this stupid, like, ignorant group of people. Like, to me, that just sounds like pure ignorance, Like,
and I mean, even with the stuff we do know, we know about Mansa Musa. We know about the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know about things that exist that's just like unfathomable. Like the fact that we, was just questioning the pyramids even being built, just a few minutes ago. It's like, if people was alive and did those things that we know of, because there's physical evidence that they did it, like the statues are up, the buildings are up, the structure is up and everything like that, then it's like, how can you just assume, like, it's not to like bring it so surface level and be so dense about it, but it's the same way how people just act like you can't say Wilt Chamberlain is a better basketball player than LeBron James just because it's like Wilt Chamberlain played in the 50s and 60s. Wilt Chamberlain's a better basketball player. Come on, Jelani. He's a better basketball player than LeBron James. It just is what it is, bro. He's better than Steph Curry, too.
Man, listen, I don't want to disrespect Wilt. This is the thing about Wilt. And I'm going to be, because this is the thing about Wilt, right? Wilt was as great as his number says he were. Like, Wilt would be an amazing player in any era. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm just saying he was a product of his era. Like, Wilt Chamberlain, it was a combination of him being just as good as they say he was, as far as being an amazing player, but also playing in a level of competition that, it's not even close. Like, as far as
he grabbed 55 rebounds against Bill Russell.
But you know why a big part of that was, though? Like, the playing style back then was like, guys was getting, I also think it was because of the rules. They it was like something about that back then, like where the shot clock didn't restart. It was something like that where a lot of the numbers was getting inflated. Not to take nothing away from Wilt, but like,
what is this era?
Oh no, it's some inflated numbers for sure. It's some guys that are gonna finish like top 10, top 20 scoring all time that you're gonna be like, bro, how is this
James
top
Harden?
20? No, we're not doing Harden.
Hey, no,
I've come around. I respect Harden now. I didn't used to respect Harden, but I do now. Harden was actually like an all-time great player.
No, looking at his prime is ridiculous, bro. Like he averaged like 30-point triple double for 10 years.
Oh, he was insane. Before May and June, you know, he was a great player.
The base
But so look,
god.
my thing with Wilt is realistically, like he was able to get all them rebounds because the rest of the people out there are trash. They over there, you know, not everybody, but I say there are more trash players throwing up trash shots during that time for him to be able to get that many rebounds. You know, and what so I would say that's just kind of like the one thing about it with Will. It's like I think he would have been great in any era for sure. But
I think while Mo is about to come back on and stuff like that, I think my argument is always you have what you have that era. Like you have the amount of supplements, you have the amount of weights, you have the amount of workouts, you have you know the competition you're playing with. Like what it is what it is for that era. Like because if Wilt had whatever LeBron has to be who LeBron is at 41, at 40 years old, are we talking about a whole different Wilt? Like, because you watch Wilt's highlights, he blocking the shot, chase down block, or say he gets beat by a guard, by a quicker guard, gets beat by a quicker guard goes off the dribble, layup. He goes up for the layup. Wilt gets the chase down block, gets the rebound off his own block. He brings the ball up himself and he goes down the middle of the lane and finger roll. It's the same thing like watching LeBron, bro. So it's like it's like I feel like I'm watching LeBron and a lot of the Wilt highlights decades, 5 decades before LeBron even did that stuff. And it's like he was stronger than a lot of the people. So I feel like if he was in this era, it would be the same thing because it would just be heightened because, you know, like he'll have the weights and everything like that. Like he'll look like prime Dwight Howard, but with the skill set of like Wemby.
I think this is the way I look at Wilt. This is the player that comes to mind when I say this. I feel like if you took like prime like Tyson Chandler and put him back in that playing time, see that's you rolling your eyes, but that's Tyson Chandler was a very good player. Like he was a
Wilt is one of the greatest ever though.
But I just think he is one of the greatest players ever, and I can't blame him for the era that he played in. But like, we can't act like him being taller than the vast majority of everybody in the league, and more physically gifted than everybody in the vast majority of the league doesn't play a part. Versus now, when everybody is strong, everybody's fast, everybody is tall. You know what I mean? Like it's a different era.
I think it's more of if Giannis was in that era.
Okay. Okay.
Because I think if Giannis was in that era, this is how he would be looking. So, I mean, I think Wilt would still be a great player in our era, but, you know, his numbers wouldn't be as crazy. But, and I think that's just the problem. People always be like, well, you know, his numbers wouldn't be looking nearly what they did, but he still would be averaging probably about like 28 and 13, you know?
Okay, that's a more respectful comparison. Maybe Tyson Chandler was, you know what I mean?
Tyson Chandler was a little crazy.
Tyson Chandler was a dog, though. Shout out to Tyson Chandler.
I think Wilt in today's NBA with scoring 120 points a game, I think Wilt will average 40 points a game, bro. 40 points and 20 rebounds a game, bro. Because he averaged 40 points and 20 rebounds a game when the scores was like 98 to 70.
Bro, did they have over the back then?
That's a good question.
It was I was about to say, I don't think there were guys even going through the legs back then.
These are bad highlights because I've seen a good highlight tape of Wilt Chamberlain before. Hold on. All right, come on. Here, I'm talking about here. But y'all gotta think. Y'all gotta keep the context. He's doing. No one has done. He has no reference to go off. Look at that, bro. Who's doing that in today's game? Huh?
I said goaltending.
That pass was hard.
But it's like he has no reference point to go off of. Like he didn't grow up watching Kevin Garnett. He didn't grow up watching
Okay,
Kevin
so like time out.
Yeah.
Replay that last highlight. This is why he getting 100 points. He just passed up a wide open layup to give it to Will.
All right, bro. All right, bro. All right, bro. Yeah.
So, like, you know, Will, as I said, okay, I'll give you this. At most, I'll say my boy would probably be averaging like a cool 30.
Look at that. That's a dog. And he bring the
cool
ball
30
up.
and 15. I'll give you at most about 30
Oh.
and 15. That man would not be averaging no 40 and 20, bro.
He would average 40 points, 19 rebounds, bro. If Wilt Chamberlain was playing today, long live Wilt Chamberlain. God rest his soul. If he was playing today, he'd be averaging 40 points and 19 rebounds.
And he was crazy athletic for his size, though.
And this is what I'm saying. Like the stuff that look regular because everybody does it now. You have to remember there was no reference point. So it's like he doing this off just. So just imagine if he grew up watching Kevin Garnett, watching Wemby, knowing that Wemby could exist, he'd be a beast.
No, realistically, he'd be like 25 and 10. Like, and I feel like that's respecting. Like that's not disrespectful to say that somebody will average 25 and 10 in this era. Like that's me giving you a lot of props. It's just these dudes are aliens right now, bro. Like there are guys in the league that maybe like 15, 20 years ago might be top 10 players that we don't even consider. Like a guy like De'Aaron Fox. Like De'Aaron Fox is like a borderline top 10 player right now. There are eras when like you drop De'Aaron Fox off, De'Aaron Fox they would look at him like he was a witch out there if he played.
De'Aaron Fox wouldn't be playing at this level if he dropped him back then because he wouldn't have the training and the reference point to play the way that he's playing. That's what people have to realize when you're looking at eras and who is the best of their era. You have to look at individual eras because this is what you have with training. It's like women's basketball, right? It's like, okay, the game of women's basketball is much more women now doing behind the back and no looks and all that. It was a couple of them doing. Shout out to Tisha Penicheiro, who played for SAC back in the day, the Sacramento Monarchs back in the 90s and things of that sort. There's a couple players that was doing the no looks and all that, but it wasn't like as much as it is now. Like players is doing it now because I asked Fly J, she was one of them players doing that in high school. She said, well, shoot, we got trainers. And the trainers is teaching us how to do all the behind the back and everything. And that's why the skill level is so much higher now because we all got trainers. But look at this. Come on, bro. Come on, dude. That's Kevin Durant.
He was nice.
That's Dirk Nowitzki, bro. Come on. Dirk Nowitzki, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This is all this before any of them like even existed, bro. And one. Come on. What are we talking about right now? You telling me 25 and 10? If Jokic averages 32, if he averages 30, 14 rebounds and 12 assists, right? Say Jokic averages something like that. You telling me that Wilt will only average 25 and 10? You telling me he didn't have the skill set to expand his game out to the three-point line? Once the game evolved to the three-point line, you're watching this right now. You don't think this man had the skill set to do that?
Oh, no, he had the skill set. It's just 40 and 20 is
40 and 19, bro. 100%.
I can't. No, 40. I don't think there's any player in the history of basketball who can average 40 just because of the way the game is played.
Okay, well, let's look at Wilt's stats. It's a good thing you bring that up.
But we gotta ignore. We're ignoring the context of like why. And I don't even want to turn this to like me slandering Wilt. You know what I mean? I liked Foster's song from Imaginary Friends. Wilt was one of my favorite characters on that show.
Shout out to Foster's House of Imaginary Friends. This man averaged 40 plus points. Oh, no. This is minutes. I'm sorry, minutes. Here we go. Point. Okay. He averaged 50 points, bruh. He averaged 50 points in the season, bruh. In 61 and 62, he averaged 50 points, 26. Come on, bruh. He averaged 50 points and 26 rebounds in a season, bruh. You telling me LeBron James is better than this guy? Come on. What are we talking about? They didn't even have a 3-point line.
Yeah, this is we got to have this discussion. Like, we're gonna bring this back up next episode when my brain is a little bit more we started talking about this later in the episode.
It's 12:25 a.m.
Yeah, exactly, for full context for those watching. But when I get my brain a little bit more refreshed and I get my first take arguments together, we're gonna bring this argument back.
And he played 80 games. And he averaged 50 points in the season. He played 80 games that season. And then he came back. I'm going to give you another 80. And he averaged 44 points and 30. So you telling me he wouldn't average 40 points and 19 rebounds in today's game where they score 120 points a game?
He was averaging 48. The games are 48 minutes. He was averaging 48 and a half minutes. That is insane.
He was playing for dibs, bro. He's playing for dibs.
Yeah,
but all right,
man, that's wild.
It's about, but look at this. So, like, over 30 points per game for his first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons. His first 9 seasons in the league, he averaged over 30 points. He still averaged a double in his last season in the year of last season of his career. He averaged 19 rebounds his last season in the NBA, bro.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You telling me that LeBron James is better than this? And this ain't no in the 60s with the white boys and the black and white. This is brothers is playing. Kareem and them is in the league at this point. Oscar Robinson this is legitimate NBA basketball. Julius Erving is in the ABA at this time. 72, 73, he averaged 19 rebounds a game. So yeah, I completely believe in today's era that Wilt Chamberlain will average 40 points and 19 rebounds in the NBA, bro.
I might have to put some respect on Wilt.
Shout out Wilt Chamberlain, bro. And he's better than LeBron James, and he's better than Steph Curry.
I'm not going that far yet, but
we'll get that. We'll get to that later. As we said, it's 12:30 a.m. Mo, you ain't got to speak in a little couple minutes, so I want you to get out any final thoughts or anything that you wanted to say.
Oh man, shoot, I was just listening. My boy Wilt he did go crazy. I definitely think, especially seeing those rebound numbers, I think in his prime he could have definitely put up some a good high 30 average with close to 20 rebounds. So my boy could have definitely put in some work. But hey,
averaging 30 and 20 is insane. Averaging 30 and 20 is insane. Like that's not 40 and 20, like I said he would average, but 30 and 20 is still like Jokic don't do that.
Right. But
Mo, super pause, Mo.
What's up?
Super duper pause. Hey man, your skin looking good, bro. You know what I mean? I gotta give you a shout out, man.
I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man.
From one black man to another, I gotta show love.
Man, it's all about the morning routine. Shout out to Ashton Hall.
Okay, now I'm about to get in my bag. I'm about to really, I'm about to try to be my best self this summer. So I'm gonna step my skincare up.
You know this man didn't have a brand deal with the sparkling water brand.
You say he did not? Oh, I mean, I'm not surprised. Because I feel like after all this, he probably gonna get something. But I'm not surprised he didn't have it beforehand because he wasn't really popping this.
But I mean, we didn't know about him, but he already had like 1 million followers on Instagram. Because when it first went viral, I looked him up, and his Instagram was already at like 4 million. So I'm like, okay, he probably got like 2 million off of going viral today. but like,
Mm-hmm.
no, he didn't get the full 4 million that day. So he was already, you know what I'm saying, relatively popping enough. So I'll just look at it like dumb black man, you know what I'm saying? Like we got to get our business acumen up. Like what are you doing if you have 100? What are you doing if you have 10,000 followers and your followers are noticing that you use the same thing in every video and they start shouting it out in the comments? As soon as you start shouting it out in the comments, I'm taking the labels off until I get a deal. Because I mean, that's free advertising at that point. And there was something. When's the last time you guys felt old? Cause I'll tell you mine, and we'll wrap with that.
I feel like it was something recent that actually made me. You know when I feel old, like when I get on MARTA or I'm riding like the train or whatever, and like sometimes I'll be thinking I'm still a YN, and then the actual YNs get on public transportation. And I'm like, you know what? You are not a YN no more, brother. You're turning 30. So like, yeah, that makes me feel old, is being around anybody born with a 2 in front of their year. That makes me feel old.
Nah, facts. I had told Shah, this dude came in my job and he was singing Tweaker by Jello. And so I was like, hey, bro, like, did you see that he just dropped the new video with Glorilla? And then he was like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 29. He was like, bro, you too old for that. I was like, what? I was like, hold on, Jello make YN music? I was like, Jello like my age, bro. But
Jello's,
yeah,
Jello
yeah,
like
that threw
27.
me off.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, 100%.
But yeah, I say that, and then yeah, I think I be feeling kind of old with just looking at certain stuff on like certain trends and stuff, and I just be like, yeah, this ain't my generation, man. It's really
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Now what you finna say?
I was just gonna say, you seen Mexico Draw new music video, bro.
I did see it.
So all right. So Jelani, no, Mexico Joe, the producer.
Mm-hmm.
So he got a new music video. It's called No Date, and like on it, the whole time he just like rapping about how like he hates this generation. He said, I'm not doing none of that punk stuff to go viral. I ain't listening to no man with no French tips and everything like that. And that's like the whole like song in the music video is just him being like, I'm so disappointed in this generation. I don't know like where we got the game messed up for y'all to be doing the type of stuff y'all doing here.
Got my eyes a little wide. In the morning drinking baking soda apple cider. First day, couldn't sleep, pulled all night. I ain't worried about this shit, could miss a go. Yeah, by Sandro, old pussy, nigga, watch your lips.
We gotta make sure we don't get it. You can take that out.
French tips. Money first, complete the work, nigga, then I deal. Static quarter ticket, last time I took a trip. Take a look around, Mexico, you know you blessed. Still in this shit, you ain't end up like the rest. Just a couple years ago, like a mess. I be going through it, but I still bad at test.
So that's the whole thing. It's just him being like, I'm still on some 2005, 2000. I don't care what the kids are doing. Like, and what y'all doing is like disappointing me. Y'all wearing French tips. Y'all rapping with French tips. Y'all doing punk stuff, wearing the little skirts. Y'all sagging y'all pants with thongs. Y'all. And this is no slight to nobody that we shouted out on this episode earlier. But it's like, I felt like the zest with the new artist has gone too far. Because it's like...
But the thing is, oh, my bad. I was going to say, the thing is with a lot of young dudes, bro, they don't even understand that, like, what they doing is zesty, bro. Like, I got a homegirl, and she threw a little pool party. And it was like funny because then my other homegirl that was there, she's like my age, she's like 29. And so the girl who threw the pool party was like 26, you know, so it was a bunch of like 24 through 26. And, you know, me and my other homegirl that was there, that's like 29, we kind of like the old heads there, you know? And so, and she came up to me, the one that was 29, was just like, yo, all these niggas in here seem gay. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. But then, like, you know, one ended up going into like the back room with like, you know, this one other girl and whatnot, and this, that, and the other. And it was just like, and I was like, so that's the thing. It's like, they don't know that they acting zesty. And then the girls who are younger, they just, I don't know, they all about equality and stuff. You know, that goes into, well, I would say that goes into what we talked about like a few episodes ago when I said that old girl was talking about like, you know, you wouldn't get your toes done. I'm like, hell no, I wouldn't get my toes done. What the, you know, like, but, you know, I don't know, this younger generation, bro, the girls don't care, so the guys don't care. But I'm like, growing up in my, like, you know, when I first saw dudes doing that little, like, you know, the little TikTok dance where they pretty much doing like the little Miss Twerkson wind up. Y'all know what I'm talking? Like, bro, it's like, you know, they be like, you know,
oh yeah,
you know, bro. I just, to me, it's like that just seems crazy because I'm like, I remember being like in 8th grade watching Miss Twerkson do that and me knowing she about to throw it. That was the sign she was about to throw it. You feel me? But it's like these dudes, they don't know Miss Twerkson, you know? Like they don't know Betty Boop and all them. You know, like it's just a whole different generation.
Back in our day, bro, you would get such allegations just for singing a female R&B singer song, bro.
Bro,
facts.
Yo, I remember being in middle school and this was right when Estelle, American Boy, had just came out. This is when I was still at like my peak of being he was Kanye back then, but I was at my peak of being a Kanye fan. And I made that song my MySpace page song just because I liked his verse on that song. But after maybe like a week or two, I was like, bro, I got to change this because I don't want people thinking I'm gay. I don't want people thinking that I got this song on here because I relate to her, not because I like Ye's verse or whatever. But no, that's a fact. Like you couldn't really, nowadays, nobody cares. Like you could be a guy and nobody trips at a different time. But yeah, there definitely was a time when you kind of had to keep it low, like what R&B you was listening to.
It was two things I wanted to bring up. It was on one, I interviewed Skywater, and Skywater, they go by the pronouns they, them. And Skywater, they have the French tips, they wear the skirt, they got, you know, kind of wear the little purse, the little satchel, whatever you want to call it. And they like da-da with the little auto-tune music. It's hard, I ain't gonna lie. Like the song Rain, oh my goodness, one of my favorite songs of 2024 still to this day. But so I go to the back to interview them in the green room. They got about 5, 6 of them in the back with them. And I'm talking dime, I'm talking teens, I'm talking the baddest of the bad. 6 of them waiting back there. And I'm like, bro, I cannot believe it. I was just like, he really pulling. I mean, they really pulling like this. This is crazy. Another example, I'm interviewing an artist that's very attractive and things of that sort, like kind of like an e-girl that's like rapping and stuff. And her man is right there. And he kind of, you know, I didn't know if he was the gay best friend or her boyfriend. And she was like, yeah, this is my boyfriend. And I'm like, okay, all right. So yeah, that's just how it is now.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, go ahead, Mo.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know, as you know, y'all said earlier, you know, I be outside, and one thing dealing with some of these girls, they be with these dudes that I be thinking the gay best friend turn out to be their man, and it be like, what? But you know that's how it be, bro. But last thing, it's funny when you said they, you know, the whole they them pronouns sometimes be so like confusing.
No. No. I
was just gonna say that because
no. Hey, Hey, but look.
Nah,
hey,
ain't
look,
nothing, hey, I ain't gonna say
Let
nothing
it
too
out,
crazy,
bro.
bro.
all right, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because when you be saying, when people be saying they, like they really got him, and I'll be like, who all got him? Who all was there? Like, yeah, they over there. Like, who all over there? You feel me? Like that is something, and I'm like, do they never not get confused? Do like people who really, like I personally don't have any friends who are non-binary. Like I have gay friends, but I don't have any non-binary friends. But when talking to people like that, and when you're having those conversations with people, does that never not get confusing? Like, yeah, they were over there earlier. Oh, who all was over there? They, them.
No, even when Rashad was speaking a couple seconds ago, I thought he was talking about a group of people, and then I was like, oh, he's like that's their pronouns. Like, okay, I thought he was like him or them and their homeboys. That's what I thought he was talking about when he said that. But yeah, it's hey, listen, man.
Yeah. So
it's been a great episode. Shout out to the people.
Yeah, and like I said,
Right.
So the moment for me wrapping up that I felt old, it was today. I was replaying the Tyler Creator concert when he was in Atlanta last week. I couldn't make it to the show. I couldn't get to Atlanta and stuff like that. So I'm watching on someone's just streaming it on their phone on Twitter. So I'm watching the replay of it, and this man, I'm 30 for the listener that don't know. So this man, he plays like I think it's Goblin, the one with where he first blew up and stuff. So he plays Goblin, and it's like and it's Yonkers that comes on, and I'm like, I'm like, hey, and he said, Tyler goes, look at all the 30-plus-year-old that's hype right now, and I was like, oh no, I'm just like 15 years old, and I'm like, oh man, go ahead, Jelani.
Bro, there are Tyler Creator fans who were like 18, 19 years old who were like 4 years old in 2011. That's crazy to think about.
I didn't even realize that until like he called it out on his last tour where a kid had a sign up that was like play Yonkers, and he was like, play Yonkers. What were you, like 4 years old when that came out? He's like, oh, anyways, play that song. And then he played, everybody went crazy. And it's just crazy to think like, yeah, like that. But that's what I was saying with the whole Cardi situation. If you're 17 years old in 2014, 2015, you're okay. If you're 17, you were born in 08. So
7
years old. You don't know what's going on Edgewood. You don't know Father and all McConan and all these guys. You don't know what's going on. So it just is what it is. But yeah, man, that was the last time that I felt old hearing Tyler make fun of everybody who got excited to hear Yonkers played at his show, which was like for longest his biggest hit, and that was not even. It might not even be a top.
That song aged kind of terribly, but the video is still great.
Yeah, I don't think that's a top 5 popular Tyler the Creator song. You got She, Earthquake, Sticky, See You Again, and what's another?
New Magic Wand.
Yeah. You can. It wasn't like a radio.
Who That Boy?
Yeah, Who That Boy? Let's say Who That Boy. Lumberjack. That was a radio song. Rolls Royce, Pull Up, Black Boy, Hop Out. So those are like 5 legitimate mainstream songs that are all bigger than Yonkers. It's just hard to believe he has that many songs bigger than Yonkers. But anyways, yeah, fellas, great episode. Oh, what would you want to say, Mo?
Huh?
Oh, I was just saying, what you sound like you was about to say something else.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's just crazy the evolution of Tyler, and to see so many people, become fans of his over time. That was my first ever concert I went to. I was, I just seeing where he took it from there is still really dope. But we go ahead and wrap up.
No, 100%.
Yeah, I went with. Hold on. Quick side note. I went with your homegirl.
I feel like you told me that. Okay, yeah. I feel like you told me this. Okay, yeah. I think this did come up. I think she
like
might
me,
have told me that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Funny how
like
life
me
works.
and like 2 other people. Yeah. That was a crazy concert, bro. Like for it to be the first one, because like afterwards it was a bunch of just, it was like mosh pitting everywhere. It was like shoes just like all over the floor like afterwards, because people were just going so crazy, shoes, clothes and stuff. And then like I saw the one dude randomly, like he'll walk through the crowd and was like, yo, excuse me, and then just randomly walked up to do and punched him straight in the face. And yeah, I got an autograph from Haji Beats that night. And he signed everybody else's, and it said, huh?
Oh no, I was just real quick. I said shout out to Nelly Furtado. He has a baby by Nelly Furtado. I was just shouting him out.
Really?
He does.
Nelly Furtado, thick as hell now.
She is.
Hey, yeah, shout out to Haji Beats. I did not know that. But he signed everybody's autograph that said HB. For some reason, when he got to me, he signed my autograph and wrote Dick. And yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my, they still together like right now?
I know that's from a few years back. I don't know if they still together, but either way, I mean,
he secured the bag. The baby has been born. The bag has been secured.
Crazy. I did not know they were together like ever.
Literally, Twitter told me this randomly a couple of years ago because I didn't know either.
Yeah, but shout out to IG Beast, man. Shout out to Our Future. Man, that was what a time to be alive, man.
Definitely was a time.
For sure. Well, fellas, we appreciate the time so much as well. Another great episode in the books. We appreciate y'all staying up. We got to like 1 a.m. East Coast time. We lived up to the name again. So
literally the 1 a.m. podcast.
Yeah. So fellas, if y'all want to plug y'all socials, anything like that, this is the time to do so.
_ Jelani 2 underscores. I feel like if you made it to this point in the episode, you should know our usernames by now. But yeah, we appreciate the support. Anybody who listens, we appreciate it all.
Yeah, it's your boy Monos, Monos _ on X. X is just still so crazy, bro.
Sounds horrible. I hate it.
Yeah, for real. And then catch me on Instagram as RBMO ____. And yeah, I got a little TikTok, but I ain't got nothing on there. But so don't even worry about that. But yeah.
All right, folks, until next time, as always, we are the 1 a.m. pod. Until next time, please take care of y'all selves. Peace.
Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't